A new soccer stadium in Exposition Park officially opened its doors today. We'll see how the local community is reacting.
While the app Waze may help you avoid traffic, taking side streets may have some unintended consequences.
Plus, find out why members of the USC Shoah Foundation were honored at City Hall today.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
The Los Angeles Football Club officially opened its brand new stadium in Exposition Park. Good evening, I'm Claudia Buccio.
And I'm Olivia Sandusky. The LAFC Stadium is now ready for games, but as Annenberg Media's Katia Jordan shows us, the team's arrival means more than that for some LA residents.
The Los Angeles Football Club fans came out to Bank of California Stadium in Exposition Park and showed their excitement and support for the Los Angeles football. City leaders and owners like former Olympic star Mia Hamm and Lakers general manager Magic Johnson spoke.
The team is already off to an amazing start. They play an entertaining style of soccer. I'm excited.
Former Dodger Nomar Garciaparra and his wife Mia Hamm explained how important the Los Angeles community support means to the club.
They're the foundation of this, so I think that in and of itself, you know, Los Angeles people growing up here, I grew up here, we have a lot of pride. We have a lot of pride in where we come from. We have a lot of pride for each other, and I think this represents that.
No one will leave here feeling that they didn't have a world-class experience.
The Los Angeles Football Club is not only adding soccer to its community, but it's also adding a lot of revenue as well to help the businesses, fans, and everything around the city of Los Angeles. The owner of Figueroa Philly Cheesesteak says that the LAFC will help with business.
It's only going to benefit my area, my business. On a Sunday, if I sell, for example, 100 cheesesteaks, and now all of a sudden there's 25,000 people coming to the area, I'm probably going to do a lot more than 100 cheesesteaks. So I can't imagine how that's going to negatively impact my business.
I'm here for 50 years. And, my mom, she's been around here forever. That's my brother over there. So hope it continues to grow, and this whole area is going to probably be a very prosperous area in the next 5 to 10 years.
Reporting for Annenberg Media, I'm Katia Jordan.
Coming up later in the show, I'll sit down with the head of LAFC's fan club right here on campus.
Many of us use Waze to get around the busy streets of Los Angeles. While the app might be helpful, some drivers aren't too happy about how it guides commuters through neighborhoods. That's why Council Member David Rue wrote a letter calling on the LA City Attorney to take legal action against the app. Council Member Rue says Waze has pushed traffic from major streets and freeways to residential areas. He says the shortcuts the app suggests have led to more drivers clogging up streets in small neighborhoods, and that increases the number of accidents and damages the infrastructure of the city. So let's take a look at what traffic is like in the USC area. It's rush hour, so it's no surprise to see all these red lines around campus. We have the 110 freeway, we have the 10, so of course, a lot of drivers trying to head out. So if we head over to the stadium, the Dodger Stadium and Echo Park, we can see how many cars there are there too. So here's Echo Park, and there's the 101 freeway, and usually what the app will do is try to give you side streets so you don't have to take the freeway. So some residents have been complaining because there are several accidents in the area because there are really steep streets around. So our reporter Dong Yao Nia is live at the intersection of Baxter Street and Lakeshore Avenue in Echo Park. Dong Yao, tell us how traffic is on that side of town.
Yes, Claudia. Now I'm standing at the intersection of Baxter Street and Lamont Street. We know now is the rush hour, so the traffic at LA's main streets must be getting very busy. But here, this is a residential street and it's also busy too. Residents living on this street told me that from every day from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. this will happen. Many drivers are being detoured, directed by navigation apps like Waze and Google Maps. maps. And many of them are not familiar with this street because you can see like behind me there's a very deep way, and many of the drivers will be scared. Some of their cars lose controls and or even will crash into their walls. So they really think that this is bringing them a major safety issue, and they hope that this could be solved as soon as possible. And we also got another interview from another resident in an LA local street.
We still use the Waze app, and it does take us through a lot of neighborhoods that we tend to not use, and I think it takes longer. You find, especially in this area, the Mulholland area, it takes us through kind of the windier streets and out onto areas that we wouldn't normally go.
And Annenberg Media got the statement from Waze today saying that, quote, Waze is committed to helping cities and citizens navigate efficiently and safely. It's important to know that Waze does not control traffic, but our maps do reflect public roads that federal and local authorities have identified and built for its citizens. And now Waze is getting complaints not only from local residents but also from drivers, because they say they will be directed to some unexpected place or are some dangerous places to drive, just like that one behind me. So now the message has been sent to the city, and now it's the city council, the city attorney to decide whether to take legal actions after that. And back to you.
Thank you, Dang Yao. The ACLU is suing the city of Los Alamitos because it is refusing to comply with California's sanctuary law. That law limits how much local police can cooperate with federal immigration authorities. The city council voted 4-1 last month to defy the sanctuary law. The ACLU argues local ordinances cannot overrule state laws. Some members of the undergraduate student government want to create a permanent safe space for undocumented students, while right now there's a pop-up Dreamer Center. Mai Mizuno is an USG member and presented the Dreamer Center concept to faculty.
Well, now is the time to really advocate for a full-time permanent Dream Center on campus. As we've seen over the past few years, the rhetoric at the national level and the policies coming from the federal administration have really threatened this particular group of marginalized students on this campus, and it's the duty of the university to really ensure that all students of all communities are well supported.
The pop-up Dreamer Center is in Caprillion Hall. The center is open from 10 to 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays as a resource to undocumented students, staff, and friends. USG members hope they can set up a bigger and more permanent space for students who need it.
The 103rd anniversary of the Armenian Genocide was commemorated today during a city council meeting. Councilmember Paul Krikorian honored community members for their work educating people about the genocide.
This event, this annual event that we have, and all of the other commemorations of the Armenian Genocide and other genocides are a way for us to have collective memory, to remind ourselves of the memory of history and the lessons that we can learn from it and apply today.
UCLA professor Richard Hovhannissian was recognized for collecting eyewitness testimony of the Armenian Genocide. He donated that collection to the USC Shoah Foundation, which was also recognized today.
Shoah Foundation interviews and preserves interviews of genocide survivors of various experiences throughout the world. It's important to preserve the memory of genocide survivors because one is able to look deep into the origins of genocide and how they're conducted and implemented in order for us to learn from our mistakes in the future and be able to prevent them.
The Turkish government still denies a genocide happened. However, organizations like the Shoah Foundation are helping to recognize the Armenian community and pass their deals. Los Angeles school board members worked more than 10 hours yesterday, but still couldn't decide who will be the next superintendent. Vivian Ekjian has been filing in and is also one of the candidates for the job.
All I want is for the best person to lead this district so that every child can graduate college, career, and life ready. As an educator, I feel incredibly passionate about all of our students, feeling that they are included in our school environments so that there is never a child that feels they don't belong.
Vivian Exian has spent her entire career with LAUSD. She started teaching 3rd grade in 1985 and has held various administrative positions. She was named interim superintendent last October. Investment banker Austin Butner is reported to be the frontrunner. He's a businessman and civic leader who was the publisher and CEO of the LA Times and San Diego Tribune for about a year, from 2014 to 2015. In a letter to board members, students said they want a superintendent who will create a positive culture for all teachers and students. The school board meets again Friday to try to reach a decision.
Bad news for people who like spending time outdoors. In its annual State of the Air report, the American Lung Association found that the LA Long Beach area has the worst air quality in the nation. The report found that more than 4 in 10 Americans live with dangerously high levels of air pollution. This increases the risk of health problems such as lung cancer, asthma, and cardiovascular disease.
It's the daily ozone has been decreasing in many places over the last 20 years because of better control of emissions.
In the report, the American Lung Association found that the top 5 cities with the worst pollution are in California, LA and Long Beach, Bakersfield, the Visalia-Porterville area, Fresno, and Sacramento.
I think it's true, California and Los Angeles, this metro area does rank pretty high up there, at number 1 at least in ozone pollution. But it's in the context of sort of where we've come from, our air quality has improved tremendously.
The report says climate change and higher temperatures are making the air more polluted, but Santa Barbara has some of the cleanest air in the country.
Hawaii experiences more rain than people tend to think, but it received so much over the past few days that parts of the island are starting to flood.
The LA Zoo announced its first baby animals of the spring.
Plus, thousands of Puerto Rican residents had to evacuate their homes today. Find out why.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. That was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Nearly 7 months after Hurricane Maria destroyed the electrical grid, Puerto Rico was again hit by an island-wide power outage. The massive outage is now reported to be the second largest blackout in history, and it comes less than a week after another one in the island. Authorities say a contractor accidentally hit a transmission line. It could take 24 to 36 hours to restore power to nearly 1.5 million customers.
Just when I thought we were getting close to summer weather, but it seems to be cooling back down again.
So what's the forecast looking like for the next week? Let's ask our weather anchor, Trevor.
Well, it is a little cool tomorrow, but I can promise you warm weather is on the way. If we take a look at our current conditions right now, 65 degrees outside. So as we get into the evening, it'll cool down into the upper 50s. But tomorrow's weather is going to be chilly. If we take a look in the mountains, 40 degrees in 65 in the IE. On up the coast, it'll be 66 degrees in Simi Valley and 64 along the coast. So as you can see, you're going to see those mid 60s, low 60s along those areas. And then 68 degrees at USC, 68 in Anaheim. So again, upper 60s, but nothing really above 70 degrees. Now, in your 5-day forecast, tomorrow you're going to see some clouds. There is a 40% chance of rain tomorrow, so might want to pack those umbrellas. But other than that, getting warmer throughout the week into the upper 70s. Now, a flash flood warning was issued for tomorrow morning until Friday night across the Hawaiian Islands. Over the weekend, a record 32 inches of rain came down on Kauai. 220 people have been airlifted out so far. Hundreds are stranded at evacuation centers. Residents across all islands felt the impact of the storm.
The thunder and lightning that was over the weekend was at about 4:30 in the morning, and it sounded like a semi-truck was coming into our house. I mean, we couldn't sleep. We were up. The power went out, and we could actually hear the lightning crackling as it was hitting the ground.
The islands have had a reprieve for the past couple days, but residents have not let their guard down. Now, that was our own Olivia Sandusky, our own anchor's sister, Nicole. So obviously, our thoughts go out to everyone affected, and we will be checking in with that story later.
Yeah, those images are just insane. Thanks, Trevor.
And I'm here with an LAFC supporter. He is the founder of the Wings of Troy, the club here at USC's campus. Thanks for joining us today, Noah.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So, Noah, now LAFC is a relatively young team, only founded 3 years ago. What made you such a strong supporter of this club?
So originally, when I first heard that the club was being launched, I was intrigued, but I wasn't super attached to it. It wasn't until I interned for the club this past summer that I really grew an affinity for it and started getting immersed in the club itself. And after the end of my internship, I wanted to take that commitment to the next level, and so started the fan club here on campus.
So describe the fan clubs to us a little bit. What do you guys do? Do you have any traditions? Do you sing any songs together like, you know, football fans do?
Yeah, we do a little bit of that. We play pickup soccer every Monday out on the USC Village. Everyone's invited to come, and we love having everyone there. We just had a record actually of people showing up, 26 people last Monday, so that was really awesome. And then we go to all the watch parties, all the games, and we're a part of the greater LAFC 3252, which is that rowdy, rambunctious group that you hear yelling in all soccer stadiums. We're that for LAFC.
And how do people join the Wings of Troy?
It's a super easy process. Either DM on any of the social medias, it's just at Wings of Troy, at LAFC Wings of Troy on Twitter and Instagram, or send an email or reach out to anybody. No commitment necessary, and no payment either. So it's as you want to join.
Are you excited about the new stadium that's open here for LAFC?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I was actually over there this morning for the ribbon cutting, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's just exactly what I have imagined it to be and more. So it's really, really impressive.
And what's your favorite part of LAFC games? Is it the game itself, or is it being there with your Wings of Troy?
I think it's probably the game itself. I really love the sport of soccer and love watching the game being played. So it's really fun to have like that commitment to a team and be able to watch them on the field play really, really close.
What position do you play in your pickup games?
I played center mid.
Center mid,
Yeah.
a lot of running.
Yeah, a lot of running, yeah.
Wonderful. And then which match would you say you're looking forward to most this year for LAFC? Who's that main rival you're looking forward to?
Well, the Galaxy are definitely the main rival. I was at the game that was at the Galaxy Stadium a couple weeks ago, and that was an electric atmosphere. It was really, really crazy. But then I'm definitely looking forward to the game against the Sounders in 2 weeks, Seattle. It's our first home game on April 29th, and I could not be more excited.
All right. Well, thank you. Once again, this is Noah Schwartz here with Wings of Troy. And thank you for joining us. We now have our sports update with Lauren.
Thank you so much, Olivia. In more sports news, the USC baseball team is playing LMU across town right now. We'll give you a live score update when we return. We'll check in with Victoria for some updates on the men's volleyball MPSF tournament. And 2 Trojan football players just earned plaques on the USC All-American Walk. Find out who when more sports is back in 90 seconds.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even brought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. Yesterday, running back Ronald Jones II and linebacker Uchenna Nwosu solidified their names in Trojan history. They were officially placed on USC football's All-American Walk. The All-American Walk is located on the path the players take from the McKay Center locker room to Howard Jones Field. These Trojans' impressive USC performances earned them these spaces on this iconic walk, alongside players like Adoree Jackson, Zach Banner, Leonard Williams, and Marquise Lee. Uchenna Nwosu tweeted, "Honored to have my name immortalized with the rest of the USC legends for life. Hashtag All-American, hashtag Fight On Forever." Jones II and Nwosu are now the 167th and 168th All-Americans in USC history. Next time we'll be hearing these talented Trojans' names will hopefully be next week for the 2018 NFL Draft. Now USC Athletics is taking this crosstown rivalry to the next level, with 3 different sports teams, possibly 4, taking on UCLA this coming Saturday. Now to start things off, we're going to go with USC Baseball, who is actually playing LMU right now. The Trojans are already up by 2, and it's only the top of the second inning, which is super exciting because the Trojans really need this win as they go into their next game. They had an early lead with O'Gwyn, who hit a single, and followed up by Newtbar, and Paulson hit them all the way home. Now a win tonight could really boost the team going into this weekend's rivalry series against the number 13 Bruins. But what makes this game even more exciting is the return of UCLA pitcher John Olsen, who suffered a terrible hit to the face off the bat of Lars Nootbaar in last meeting in the Dodger Classic. After surgery to reset his nose, titanium implants, and weeks of battling double vision, Olsen returned to play Stanford and is set to play this weekend. Head coach Dan Hubbs shared his excitement about his return.
I'm happy for John. I mean, he's a battler, and you never want to see a kid go down with injury, especially one like that. I know it affected Lars when it happened, and it's pretty remarkable that in less than a month he's back on the mound after what he went through. And so I'm excited for him. I'm not looking forward to facing him, but I'm excited for him.
We're all excited to see him back on the mound. Now the number 1 ranked women of Troy will also be facing off against the Bruins on Saturday. The team is coming off of a huge win over the previously number 1 ranked Stanford Cardinal last week. Starting goalie and leader on the team, Amanda Longin, shared what the team needs to do to continue their dominance.
Hopefully, consistency between all these games to play the game that we know, to make improvements and break old habits so that way we can move forward with being consistent, because we know teams are going to go back and look at our weaknesses.
The team is currently on a 10-game win streak and definitely wants to make that 11, with a win over the 4th-ranked UCLA squad. Now finally, the USC women's tennis team is coming off of a victory over Arizona and a tight loss to Arizona State over the weekend. 5-4 in the conference, the women of Troy want to make this last regular season matchup count.
UCLA SC is a huge rivalry match, and we're a little bit of the underdogs, and I actually love going into a big rivalry match like that. Anything can happen, and I think our girls are really motivated to get after it.
Will the number 41 ranked women of Troy be able to pull out a big upset over number 15 UCLA? Well, anything can happen when these 2 schools face off. Now that does it for all the certain rivalry games, but sports correspondent Victoria Garrick has some exciting men's volleyball updates that could lead to another crosstown showdown. Victoria?
The previously unranked men's volleyball team has been taking names left and right these past few weeks. After a 5-set win stunning number 3 UCLA, the Trojans defeated the number 5 Pepperdine Waves this past Saturday, stealing a spot in the MPSF semifinals. Junior Gianluca Grasso stole the show, posting 19 kills, earning him AVCA National Player of the Week honors. I spoke to him about what the main focus is for this team moving forward in the playoff rounds.
Communication's a big one. You know, sometimes we lack communication, and then execution. We gotta be good on our passing, of course, and if we can pass there, we're gonna be good.
Grasso and the Trojans will face the number 1 ranked BYU Cougars in Utah tomorrow night at 6 p.m. The winner from each side of the semifinal round will compete for the MPSF National Championship on Saturday. Back to you, Lauren.
Thank you, Victoria. The women's golf team is on fire. The team has a starting lineup of all freshmen and 1 sophomore. Despite their youth, the team closed out the regular season with 3 tournament wins in a row. The women of Troy are now ranked number 4 going into the Pac-12 championships, which start in Seattle, Washington this Sunday. And the USC women's lacrosse team faces ASU for their last game of the regular season. A victory over the Sun Devils would put the women of Troy at 6-4 in the Pac-12, going into the tournament. So, anyone heading over to UCLA this weekend?
No, but it's tempting. I mean, you always want to see USC win over the Bruins, so let's see how our Trojans do.
And what could beat 3 wins over the Bruins?
Exactly. I would love to see women's water polo Paige Hochschild taking it in the pool. She has been so phenomenal this
I
year.
agree. It would be super exciting to see.
All right. Well, calves, kittens, and piglets, oh my, that's the saying, right?
Maybe not, but those 3 are new babies in the LA Zoo welcoming this spring.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
迷惑ボーイ。
ここはなんとかしなくちゃ。
スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。
When you ride on the bus or rail, don't eat popcorn, meat, or kale. Food can smell and it makes a mess. Keep LA Metro clean and fresh. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Superkind will be there to solve them. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Superkind will be there to solve them.
It looks like the LA Zoo is going to have a wonderful new additions to their already large animal family. The zoo announced today that they have welcomed several spring babies. Visitors can now come and see 2 Tibetan talking calves, 2 Chalkwood peccary piglets, and an Eastern Bongo calf. All the animals were born within the last 2 months, as part of a grand effort by the zoo to protect endangered species. The zoo made it clear that yes, these animals may be adorable, but they also represent the future of their respective species. Oh, aren't those animals so cute?
The calf was so
to go
cute.
to the zoo.
So cute.
Well, so thanks for watching Annenberg TV News from everyone at Annenberg Media. I'm Claudia Buccio.
And I'm Olivia Sandusky. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.
Woo!